Yo bro, welcome to my stream, good to see you here. Right, let's take a look at the war terminal. War assets. The people, weapons, armies and fleets that you've accumulated are your war assets. The overall readiness of the galaxy determines how effectively these assets will perform in the final battle. New Alliance. The Systems Alliance represents humanity's economic, political and military reach throughout the galaxy. Its naval forces are led by Admiral Stephen Hackett. Alliance Engineering Corps. The Alliance Engineering Corps cuts roads through mountains and builds bases on asteroids. While the bulk of AEC has active wartime duties, their brightest are helping build a device of Prothean origin recovered on Mars. Due to the staggering amount of raw materials required, the AEC has been given unprecedented emergency funding for any Alliance resources that will not interfere with the deployment of troops. 103rd Marine Division. The old saying, every Marine is a rifleman, still holds true in the Alliance. Every Marine enlistee, from clerk to sniper, goes through a period of infantry training. As a result, the 103rd Marine Division is Earth's largest collection of Special Forces soldiers. Officers from notable battles such as the Skyllian Blitz and the First Contact War run harsh training exercises in a variety of environments, insisting the Marines be prepared to storm any beach on any planet. This training has been useful in the Reaper War, as the 103rd can be fighting in Arctic deserts one week, crawling through jungles the next. Alliance 3rd Fleet. Stationed at Arcturus, the 3rd Fleet is headed by Admiral Nitesh Singh. When the Reapers came for the station, Singh had already pulled his commander ship, the SSV Logan, back to an ideal firing position for its mass accelerator cannons. The Dreadnought's guns managed to slow down the destroyer before it could demolish the 3rd Fleet, but Singh was forced to retreat in the face of overwhelming opposition from Reapers. Updated, the fleet lost a third of its vessels protecting the Council during the Battle of the Citadel 2 years ago. Unfortunately, the Alliance did not have time to rebuild the fleet to its previous strength before the Reapers invaded. War asses. So this is what we have at the moment, right? Right. Alliance 1st Fleet. The 1st Fleet was stationed near the Charon Relay when the Reapers invaded the Sol system. By the time Admiral Hackett issued the order to retreat, its size, once the largest in the Alliance Navy, had been cut by half. Commanding Admiral Inez Lindholm made the painful decision to use a tenth of the fleet's remaining vessels as cover so the remainder could escape. Her gamble paid off, as the 1st Fleet limped out of the relay to rally with the rest of the Alliance forces on the run. Updated, this fleet lost a third of its vessels protecting the Council during the Battle of the Citadel 2 years ago. Unfortunately, the Alliance did not have time to rebuild the fleet to its previous strength before the Reapers invaded. Alliance 5th Fleet. The 5th Fleet became famous across the galaxy after spearheading Alliance forces at the Battle of the Citadel. It was guarding Arcturus Station when the Reapers attacked. After a bloody and desperate battle, Admiral Hackett gave the order to retreat, sacrificing the entirety of the Alliance 2nd Fleet to give the 3rd and 5th the chance to escape. The 5th Fleet engineers are busy repairing its damaged vessels, grimly anticipating a return to Earth and revenge against the Reapers. Updated, this fleet lost a third of its vessels protecting the Council during the Battle of the Citadel 2 years ago. Unfortunately, the Alliance didn't have time to rebuild the fleet to its previous strength before the Reapers invaded. So what we see here is the failure of the Alliance, but not Shepard. Diana Allers. Alliance News Network reported Diana Allers has been broadcasting from the Normandy, interviewing crew members and high-ranking Alliance officers to give the galaxy an insider's view of the war. Pepper point. Khalisa bin Sinan Al-Jilani. Westerland News reported Khalisha bin Sinan Al-Jilani reached out recently to her viewers with a wartime plea for unity and cooperation among all galactic species. Her sincerity touched external viewers, and donations for war relief efforts are pouring in both to the Alliance and its alien allies. Mineral resources. Commander Shepard uncovered a significant elemental deposits while scanning planets with the Normandy SR-2. When the Alliance dry-docked the Normandy, they seized all recovered elements. This material surplus has gone toward building the Prothean device discovered on Mars. Oh yes! Alliance frigate Normandy SR-2. When the original SSV Normandy was destroyed, Cerberus rebuilt the ship from stolen Alliance plans. Dubbed the SR-2, the Alliance took the new Normandy apart and refitted some of its systems with new technology of its own. As a result, the SR-2 Normandy is the highest performing frigate in the entire Alliance Navy, and possibly the fastest ship in its class. The Normandy is commanded by Shepard, an Alliance officer and humanity's first Spectre. Updated to bolster the Normandy's firepower, Commander Shepard installed a Thonix magnetic hydrodynamic cannon on the ship's undercarriage. Based on Reaper technology, the powerful weapon fires molten metal accelerated to a fraction of the speed of light. Normandy equals to the 5th Fleet. What a misery. Before taking on the Collectors, Commander Shepard reinforced the Normandy's superstructure with Solaris armor. This protective layer of carbon nanotube sheeting can withstand temperature that would instantly vaporize more conventional armor. Updated, the Normandy has been upgraded with cyclonic barrier technology, allowing the ship's mass field effect fields projectors to fire rapidly oscillating barriers and deflect rather than directly absorb kinetic shocks. Well, so far Alliance doing good. Your total military strength is now 655. Galactic readiness is sitting at 50%. Allied forces are overwhelmed by Reapers on multiple fronts and taking heavy casualties. Troops assisting in final push will have a strength of 327. Chances of success are very poor. Hey, mineral resources not 100 it's like 9,000 after we scooped the whole galaxy with those probe missions, man. I wonder how many saves can I do before I need to clear out save games from the documents folder. Alright. Model Alliance shuttle pickup.
Was lost and Earth hadn't been touched yet, you can be damn sure we'd be guarding our own borders.
Okay, back to assembling team again. Madge.
Commander, the Alliance has found a new Cerberus lab on Sanctum. Admiral Hackett would like you to investigate.
Private terminal. Watching training videos on advanced combat. Review messages sent to you. Special Ops from Stephen Hackett. Shepard, Alliance forces are stretched thin across the galaxy. We need your specific talents for a series of ops. These missions will open doors for the Alliance in places we can't touch through conventional means. We'll deploy operatives to hold point after you've completed your objectives. I need you to head to a Cerberus lab on the planet Sanctum. I'll brief you when you're inbound. Hackett. Reinstated. From Stephen Hackett, Commander Shepard, this letter formally acknowledges your reinstatement into the Alliance Navy per Admiral David Anderson's recent verbal communication. Under Emergency War Powers Regiment 903.5, you are hereby authorized to assume command of the Normandy SR-2. You are directed to begin interdiction operations against any and all enemies posing a threat to Earth, its colonies, and its allies. Why can't Admiral Hackett find us elusive dwarf? Emergency flash traffic urgent. From Alliance fleet operations, flash X1 8.34. All Alliance military personnel, this is a galaxy-wide alert for all human territories. Fleet Admiral Hackett has declared threat condition Saber 1. Enemy presence confirmed in Sol system. Earth under a Reaper attack. Following All Alliance military personnel are directed to evacuate Sol system at first available opportunity. Do not attempt Earth approach. Heavy enemy resistance reported. Repeat, do not attempt Earth approach. Further instructions to follow encoded channel Crimson Tacit. Earth-based Alliance personnel unable to evacuate are directed to commence any and all necessary countermeasures. All remaining Alliance personnel outside Sol Theater are directed to muster at pre-appointed staging areas and commence offensive combat operations at first available opportunity. In absence of further instruction, independent action is authorized. Hey, stop shouting at me on emails, re. ANN alert, new article, Quarian fleet. From Alliance News Network Information Partners by Roxius Aurelius, ANN contributor. Citadel, where is the Quarian fleet? The latest intelligence shows that the Reapers are taking systems after system at a feverish pace. Members of all races are fleeing their stations, colonies, and in some cases their homeworlds. This kind of forced exodus might seem especially familiar to the nomadic Quarians who were pushed off their homeworld by the synthetic Geth centuries ago. But as the galaxy pushes back against the Reapers, the Quarians are conspicuously absent. Turian Alliance spokespeople cannot provide the fleet's current location. They say they have other concerns at the moment. Whatever the Quarians are up to, they want it kept secret from the Council. After a refueling stop at Ilium, the fleet left no stated destination, and there are also reports of galaxy-wide call for all young adult Quarians to abandon their pilgrimages to rejoin the fleet. Greedy and short-sighted powers will always try to gain the upper hand in times of galactic crisis. We can only hope that whatever the Quarians are planning does not interfere with the only thing that should matter, stopping the Reapers. Read Roxius Aurelius Regulus column View of the Empire, exclusively on ANN. Literally, Pepper Point, the Quarians, the Quarians, the Quarry. You have an upgrade waiting. From Glyph, dear Commander Shepard, some of the data you found allowed me to access research and upgrade for you. Simply access the terminal in Dr. Tessoni's office at your convenience, and you may choose how and when to implement it. Have a pleasant day, Glyph. Priority Mission Eden Prime. From Alliance Command, Commander, Cerberus has attacked Eden Prime and is now occupying the colony. Alliance forces are stretched too thin right now to attempt to liberate the colony, but we've been doing what we can to covertly aid the local resistance. In the process, we've learned that Cerberus has uncovered a major protein artifact. We don't know what it is, but it appears to be the reason for the attack on the colony. We need you to infiltrate the colony and recover the artifact. Eden Prime again. The survivors are like 3 or 4 people there. Can you imagine their frustration? We just escaped the total annihilation. Oh, we're under incursion again.
Hey, Commander. You know, I had my doubts about the Council. But after years of ignoring your warnings, they're finally willing to step up and tell you they just can't help.
They're doing everything they can.
Did they at least validate our parking? Well, let me know if you want me to get them on the channel and then hang up on them. You know, for old time's sake. Commander? Commander?
Where's Edie? How can I speak with her? And they're like PPL. I can't use the elevator. Oh, you can. Nice. What? What the hell is this? There was an armory there. What about Miranda? Madge, George? What the hell is this for? I thought it would be necessary near the docking access. Or the airlock. Or is this area so secret that nobody except Shepard and some random nobodies can enter here? A Joker?
Commander.
The hell are you? Alright. Push the minibar. Crew deck. What? Shepard can enter the female restrooms now. Can't we salute to that? Damn it. Is this me or the Normandy is downgraded? It is, because it was brute forced by Alliance forces. What? Where the hell is my bar? There are books instead of beer. I mean, instead of heavy liquor. What's this? Model Destiny Ascension. Last time in this place was the female restroom. Maybe there's a secret book. Ah ha ha! Why can't I pour some? Fuck. You can play Gwen here. Maybe Shepard isn't thirsty enough. Okay, now we're cooking. Easy. Dr. Chakwas.
Commander?
Everything okay down here, Doctor?
The Alliance team cleaned up and restocked, but it's still my old med bay. Feels like home.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Let's waste no time. If I may, I'd like to examine you.
What does not thirsty enough mean? Even me.
Nothing wrong with me, is there?
No, but we should keep an eye on all those cybernetic implants Cerberus grafted into you.
Expensive stuff bringing me back.
And worth every penny. Let's just make sure everything is okay.
Guess a checkup never hurts. Just no scalpel this time, Doc.
Alas, to my great disappointment, it is nothing invasive. I'm just going to run some diagnostics on your implants, and it'll take a few readings. The procedure we did for your scarring has produced a lovely synthetic protein overlay. And your body has accepted the implants quite nicely.
Hit it better. Sure didn't come cheap.
That's it. You're the picture of health.
How's our inventory of meds?
The medbay was fully stocked before you left Earth. We should be good for a long time, even given the amount of fire you take each day.
Do you ever regret working for Cerberus?
We didn't work for them. We used them. If I were to feel anything, it would be guilt. We took their money, took their best people, took their best ship. We used them to defeat the Collectors, and now we are using their resources against them. So no, I don't regret it one bit.
You've never mentioned any of your family.
None to speak of, really. I'm the last of a prestigious line of medical professionals. The Alliance is my spouse, and you're all my children. I'm blessed with many close friends. But with each Alliance vessel taken, I lose one or two. We need to end this war.
I'll see you around, Doctor.
Take care, Shepard.
Reassign power bonuses. Reassign powers. Is this where they keep all the ice cream? Why can't I ask Edie what's this area of a ship? That was quite useful. After this restocking and full overhaul of the ship. I can't even navigate here normally. No one to calibrate this gun. Alright, can we bet Liara right now? What's this bottle on the ship?
Commander Shepard, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You're the drone from the Shadow Broker's ship.
Dr. Tassoni now refers to me as Glyph instead of Info Drone, 95% of the time. If you have a moment, I'd like to draw your attention to a terminal in her office. It analyzes information packages. If you find any useful data, I can research upgrades for you.
And what should I be looking for?
I'll inform you if you found relevant data. When you do, return to this terminal for your choices. In the meantime, Dr. Tassoni would like to speak with you. Have a pleasant day.
Hey, Liara.
Meeting with the council didn't go too well, huh?
It was less than ideal.
I'm shocked.
At least the council can't deny the Reapers exist. But I'm not sure how much comfort that is while they bicker over which portion of the galaxy to save.
Wow. Becoming the big info brokers turned you into a real cynic, Liara. I like it.
I'm flattered. I think.
Liara undressing is in order easy.
Looks like you brought more than just that drone from your ship.
A few things were necessary. I'd be a very silent shadow broker without data feeds.
So you have access to your resources?
What I can get. We'll need it to research this Prothean device. Until we understand precisely what it does, it's far too dangerous to use.
Did the Protheans actually complete this weapon?
You mean, will it work? They wouldn't have poured their last resources into this device if they thought otherwise. But we really need to find out just what kind of weapon they left us.
It'd be nice to know we're not kids playing around with a loaded gun.
Absolutely. The damage it could cause if it backfired is unthinkable. This will be difficult even for us. If something happens on a mission, if either one of us are hurt, I'll always remember that tour of the Normandy. But let's be honest, Shepard. It's been more than a half a year. Should we continue where we left off?
I'd like that more than anything, Liara.
Good. I was getting worried.
There were a lot of reasons I was happy to see you on Mars.
I'd like that list. But later? There's so much left to do. I'm working with EDI. Hopefully we can discover what the Protheans left for us. But I'm looking forward to talking about something other than business. Maybe later?
Easy manage, booba. What's your reputation? Armor mod kit. Farron has persuaded his contacts to ship an armor mod kit to the Normandy. Technically illegal in Citadel space, the kit's Omnigel converter and manufacturing fabricator can make a one-time modification to Shepard's armor, improving shield strength or adding thermal clips compartment. Upgrades none. Well, I don't know. Plus 5 centimeters, Coca.
This terminal contains non-essential correspondence from your allied forces. Dr. Tassoni has granted you access.
Prothean notes 2171 to 2185. Glyph remind me to clean up these old notes. Perhaps reviewing them will lead to something useful for the Prothean device. Liara 2171. The University of Ceres agreed to sponsor me at the Prothean Deacon Dratyrop. Very exciting. Professor Hannel is heading the expedition herself. Maybe I can even ask her for her opinion on my thesis outline. Attachment: thesis on Prothean first contact protocols. 2174. I believe Dr. Joshua was right to suggest that the Prothean artifacts we unearthed are from the Third Age, not the Fourth. What an embarrassing mistake. At least he seemed to approve of the rest of the paper. Attachment: paper on a comparison of Prothean technology to modern Astari circuit logic. 2183, part 1. I'm going on the Therum expedition. I never thought I'd gain permission to visit the Prothean ruins there, but the University of Ceres must have secured the funding after all. Now to pack. Attachment paper on the end of the Prothean Empire. 2183 Part 2. Goddess, this human shepherd has the key to comprehending the Protheans on an instinctual, subconscious level. If only I could have been there when the commander touched the beacon on Eden Prime. I'll try to learn more about this cipher on board the Normandy. The involvement of the Reapers is troubling to say the least. Attachment paper on the end of the Prothean Empire with correction notes. 2185. I reviewed the old Shadow Broker's footage of the Collectors. It's chilling to know that they're the Prothean husks. At least nothing sentient could possibly remain after what the Reapers did to them. Attachment paper on Prothean biology. Message from Operative Ferron to the broker. I made contact with Tazzik yesterday. The look on his face was priceless. He's not happy you put me in charge of scouting the Terminus systems, but he's doing a good job of keeping us alive. I've never seen so many pirates and mercs on edge. The black market's unreliable, and it's getting harder to make contact with suppliers. The Alliance won't be able to rely on it as a source of crucible materials for long if things get worse. Some of the other operatives think we should cut our losses now, but I just keep asking them, when did the Oz ever stop the broker? Ferron, P.S. I hope you finally got our little friend Droney to stop saying Shadow and Broker out loud in the same sentence to anyone in sight.
Thank you for the data packet. The results are available on the Information Network terminal.
What? There's no Master Sergeant Gardner here. That's too bad. Captain's cabin. Oh, no bonuses now. Right, standard A-issue armor is good enough. Engineering. Aww. Engineer Adams. Engineer Adams, yeah! No bonuses, no sedge.
Commander, welcome back to the Normandy. Or maybe you should be saying that to me.
Engineer Adams, what are you doing here?
I was put in charge of the drive core retrofits. My experience on the Normandy SR-1 made me an obvious choice.
So, what do you think of our SR-2?
She's incredible. If there's one nice thing I can say about Cerberus, it's that they know how to build a ship. And about that, Cerberus, I owe you an apology.
How so?
Back when you got this ship, Dr. Chalk was contacting me, asking me to help with your mission against the Collectors. I refused. I didn't have your back, and I'm sorry for that.
Why didn't you join us?
I saw what happened to you when the Normandy went down. I didn't trust that it was really you, and I certainly didn't trust Cerberus. Also, as an officer of the Alliance, I don't just leave my post, you know?
Your Alliance first. That's the way it should be.
Thank you, Commander. Glad to be aboard.
Is your family okay?
My parents are serving on Viridian Zenith, an Alliance agricultural vessel. My sister is a navigator on the SSV Benjamin Davis. Happy to report that both vessels are safely under Hackett's command.
Does the new Normandy stack up to the old SR-1?
Stack up. It blows the old ship away. The Tantalus drive core has been completely overhauled. The SR-2 might be nearly twice the size, but the new drive core is 3 times bigger. This ship can fly. That said, Cerberus isn't too high on safety. If pushed past her limits, this core would vent into engineering. Guess it gives my team incentive to keep her well balanced during a firefight.
Do your job or get vaporized.
Pretty much. I noticed you upgraded the kinetic barriers with cyclonic technology. Should help reduce the draw when under missile fire.
Hopefully that means fewer vaporized engineers.
The IES stealth system is significantly improved. It can handle a higher blue shift of our emissions.
And that means...
We should be able to drop out of FTL without triggering every sensor in range. Very handy for stealth reconnaissance. All in all, the Normandy is a marvel of engineering.
What do you think of Edie?
We had a good talk during the retrofit. A little strange at first, talking shop with an AI.
AI? I thought Edie posed as a VI to keep the likes of you from unplugging her.
Yeah, but I saw through her. Have you seen her hardware? Processing power is off the charts. And then there were the problems that kept fixing themselves. If I hadn't had her pegged, I would have sworn I was losing it.
You never expressed any skepticism, Lieutenant Adams.
I figured I'd better play it safe with the Cerberus AI, Edie. No offense.
None taken. As long as you keep your fingers out of my cognizance processors.
In the beginning, I tried disconnecting her from key processes without giving myself away. Easier said than done. But Joker seemed to trust her, and in time I saw her advantages. Even grew to like her.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, sir.
What's your reputation? Model Turian cruiser. This is my space hamster. Model Sovereign. Model Shadow Broker. Alright, at least we don't have to buy them all up again. Just pick them up from all corners of the ship. But my hamster's alive. Even my hamster survived the... Why? Even my hamster survived the collector's bait. Diana Allers? Oh, she's here instead of this Jesse guy.
How's your new assignment working out, Allers?
Fairly normal, except for the unshackled AI, Matriarch Benezia's daughter, and the communicator that can reach Earth. The first two, I can deal with. That last one gets my attention.
So what are you asking for exactly?
Anything from Earth is the lead story right now. That's not opinion, it's fact.
Maybe I can pass on a few non-classified progress updates.
Seriously? You just doubled my ratings. I don't need FaceTime, just a data upload.
Tell people what's really happening on Earth. We need long recruiting lines on every planet after you air a story.
I can do this, Commander. Remind me to tell you about the time I made an Elcor cry.
Plus 2 Paragon.
Commander.
Right, she's doing a good job, so I'm voting to keep her. Wait a sec. Captain's cabin. Space hamster goes home. A real mirror, I like it. Keeping her in the airlock. Easy. So far she's okay. Model freighter, pick up. James.
Hey, Shepard. How'd it go with the council?
We talked about this.
Same as usual. Non-committal. Unhelpful.
Bet they still wanted you to help them out, no?
Yeah. We're gonna rescue a Turian Primarch from Palaven.
Sounds like fun. Never been to the Turian homeworld. You down here for a reason?
Just came down to talk.
Great. Not sure what there is to talk about. You already know my service record.
No, I don't.
I don't, actually. I didn't have access to personnel records when we met.
Right. Forgot about that. Well... Think you can dance and talk at the same time?
I think I can handle it.
Well, we should bonk him?
Okay, loco. Let's dance.
Don't push your luck, Vega. With age comes wisdom. And rank.
Ha! You sound like my old CO.
Oh yeah? And who was that?
Captain Tony. He was a hard-ass son of a bitch, but a good leader.
Was?
Died. With most of my squad. Protecting a civilian colony from a collector attack.
And the colony?
It was either them, or the intel we had on the collectors. Intel we could have used to destroy them. I chose the intel.
Sorry. That's a tough call.
The best part was, we didn't really need the intel in the end. Because you were out saving the galaxy by taking down the entire collector homeworld.
You didn't know. You can't blame yourself, Vega.
Who says I'm blaming myself?
Just a guess.
You a shrink too?
Nope. But that stunt back on Mars was reckless. You're lucky to be alive.
So?
So? Maybe you don't care if you live or die.
Or maybe... I'm just willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to end this goddamn...
Maybe you are. But if you're half as good as I think you are, we need you alive.
Thanks for the pep talk.
Anytime.
Hey, thanks for the dance, Loco.
Loco, huh?
I can think of worse things to call you.
Long as you remember who's in charge, you can call me whatever you want.
Oh, I won't forget.
Keep a bonk. What's your reputation? Damn, that's a great scene, Boxsters. I just didn't use renegade points to bonk him.
Hey again. What's up?
You mentioned a mission you had against the Collectors. What happened?
Pretty much what I said. Things went foobar, and I was one of the few to make it out. If you want the rest of the story, you're gonna have to get me really drunk, or...
Or what?
That's about it. Sorry, Commander. Just not interested in talking about that. Next topic?
You had a hard time leaving Earth. You still want to head back?
Hell yeah. But I get it now. It's not where I'd be most useful. Not yet, anyway.
We'll get back there.
I know. And I'll do whatever it takes to get us there, Commander.
Maybe no more shuttle crashes.
No promises now that I've gotten the taste for it. Besides, I like to keep Esteban on his toes.
Well, at least, I don't know why Shepard keep recalling this situation, but in fact, James did freaking great about that.
You got family back on Earth?
Yeah, an uncle. Retired military. Got a few cousins I haven't heard from in a while.
You and your uncle close?
Yep. He was the reason I joined the Marines. It was about the only good thing in my life after my mom died.
No dad?
He's there. Somewhere. But I'm not sure I'd call him family. Not anymore. I would like to find out how my uncle's doing.
What's with you and the nicknames?
It's just my way of remembering people. Some people just don't match their names, you know? So, I just give them a new one.
So, I'm a loco, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty crazy, but the shit you've done makes me look sane.
I take it you and Lieutenant Cortez know each other.
Yeah, Esteban did a stint on Fel Prime where me and my squad were stationed. I caught up with him on Earth a few months back. He's a good guy. Just don't tell him I said so. It'd go to his head.
I'll talk to you later.
You bet.
If I bet, I should know that I should be winning.
Lieutenant Steve Cortez, shuttle pilot. Got news about our supply chains, Commander.
Nice to meet you, Lieutenant. What's going on?
Sorry to just jump in, Commander. There's so much to be done, I get caught up in the tasks at hand.
He's always like that. You need to chill out, Esteban.
So you do care, Mr. Vega? Or is that the Cerveza talking again?
So what's happening with our supply chains, Lieutenant?
Alliance procurement chains are in chaos, but the Citadel's economy is still running. I can network to Citadel retailers. You can view inventory and make purchases right from this console.
When I network to a new store, I'll let you know.
It does cost more to coordinate delivery to the Normandy, so it's cheaper to buy supplies when you're there.
So you're my shuttle pilot, but you're setting up procurement chains?
I wasn't assigned as Normandy's pilot. Not much need for one on a dry dock ship. I was overseeing the retrofit of the cargo hold. I'm quite familiar with the operation and maintenance of the UT-47 Kodiak and the M44 Hammerhead. From my experience, it made sense for me to take over as shuttle pilot when we left Earth. Especially given Mr. Vega's love of mid-air collisions.
To save the day, pendejo!
I'm also responsible for logistics, making sure the armory and shuttle are properly stocked and maintained.
Someone mentioned bacon?
How long have you been with the Alliance?
About 10 years. I enlisted in First Fleet serving on the SSV Hawking, flying F-61 Tridents mostly. I love the Trident, practically dances in low atmo. I spent as much time tinkering on my bird as flying her. Got a bit of a reputation.
So, you can fly fighters and fix them?
Yeah, I got a knack for procurement too. They were grooming me for CAG, but my skill set made me more valuable commanding a flight deck. They assigned me to the Normandy retrofit team about 5 months ago to oversee all cargo bay modifications.
What happened to the M44 Hammerhead?
It was sent to the tech labs for a retrofit. To afford mobility with such a small ESO core, its design sacrificed armor plating. The lab engineers are trying to improve that. After the Reaper invasion, those labs are probably just a pile of rubble.
So they destroyed my Hammerhead, bitches.
The Kodiak seems a bit different.
Good eyes, Commander. This is the UT-47A Kodiak. It's got an upgraded ESO core and prototype stealth technology based on the Normandy design. For quick drops, I can get you in and out virtually undetected. She flies like a brick, so that's why you need a good pilot.
Do you maintain this armory?
I share that duty with our illustrious Mr. Vega. Though I believe the only weapon he really cares to maintain is himself.
You know you love the show, Esteban.
The first retrofit we did was to move the armory down from Deck 2. I'm not sure what Cerberus engineers were thinking. Now you get off the elevator, pick your gear, and head right into the shuttle.
Just like the original Normandy.
Welcome back to the Alliance, Commander.
You were stationed on Earth. Do you have family there?
I'm an only child. Lost my parents years ago. I had a husband back when I was stationed at Ferris Fields. The Collectors took out the whole colony. I'd rather not talk about it.
Keep up the hard work, but don't kill yourself.
Yes, Commander.
Weapon upgrades. Procurement interface. Turtle supplies, Casa fabrication, Spectre acquisitions. Yeah, no shit, they're really more expensive. Turtle supplies. Agile capacity, Casa fabrication. Infernal armor. Power recharge, speed plus 30%, power damage plus 30%. Built specifically for Cerberus field officers, the Inferno armor has a VI dedicated to recognizing signs of stress and medical trauma. This application helps assess soldiers, but can be useful in any high-risk situations. The Inferno's microframe computer also manages biotic amp and Omni-tool power, and microservos help the wearer's movements to counteract the armor's weight. Model Alliance Kodiak. Weapon bench. Yeah, I'd like this rifle, please. Do you have any upgrades? What? No upgrades? Oh well. Right, finally, we're into submission. Conquered systems. Clusters already conquered by the Reapers can be accessed using the Normandy stealth drive. Search these clusters for survivors, salvage, and valuable intel. Is equipped with a new and improved scanning pulse that can detect objects of interest. Use this to uncover war assets, artifacts, intel, and fuel as you fly around the system. Beware, however, that each time the pulse is used, the chance that Reapers will enter the system to investigate is increased. If a Reaper enters the system you are in, flee and wait until you have completed the mission before returning. I think I don't need to use this scan. I can do this the old-fashioned way. Wait, how many probes do I have? Oh, I don't need to buy them. Oh, that's good. Saradrill. Journal. Sorkesh, a sister planet, is in a weak hothouse state, retaining enough carbon dioxide and monoxide to form an atmosphere thicker than a garden world's but thinner than a true hothouse like Venus. In the early days of Solarian space exploration, the species saw mining the planet as an engineering challenge. When the Solarians made contact with the Asari, the robo-mining industry developed for planets like Saradrill quickly became the galactic standard. The planet is named for the Saradrill clan, specifically the Solarian Delatres Saradrill II, Sorason Mal Netia Partor Enura, who sponsored the first manned mission to the planet. In antiquity, the planet was named for various gods as well as the astronomer who first classified it as a planet rather than a star. But Nura's political machinations won out and the planet now bears her clan's name on all standard Solarian star maps. Orbital distance 0.6 astronomical units, orbital period 0.5 Earth years, radius 5,243 km, day length 22.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 8.45 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 325 Celsius, surface gravity 0.71 G. Back to our Janes again. But at least we don't have to punch probes at it. Rakesh, the Solarian homeworld has been linked Likened to the jungles of Earth, pretty to look at, teeming with life, uncomfortable to live in, and dangerous to the unwary. The technophilic Salarians had significant pollution and waste problems early in the development of their society. They also embraced social solutions just as quickly and through complex breeding rules. Turkesh now maintains a crowded but sustainable population. The planet tends to be wetter than Earth, and Salarian cities spare no expense to collect and provide fresh water, as one might expect from an amphibious species. Due to Turkesh's location in the galaxy far from dark space, it has yet to be invaded by the Reapers, but its rulers are all too aware that they are in the path of attack. Because they could not strike the first blow, as their military doctrine suggests, many already consider their forces at a severe disadvantage. Population 10.3 billion, population orbital stations 1.1 million, orbital distance 1.1 astronomical units, orbital period 1.2 Earth years, radius 6,709 kilometers, day length 21.5 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 1.42 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 25 Celsius, surface gravity 0.94 G. Dragel. The tiny rock planet Dragel is notable for its status as a strategic reserve of heavy metals. It has been warmed slightly by a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon monoxide, but otherwise remains hostile to life. In the clandestine fashion typical of Salarians, the military outpost orbits the planet but does not appear on Alliance star maps. Like Saradril, Dragel is named for the matrilineal clan that sent the first manned mission to the planet's surface. However, a thriving minority from the Sealer clan, who sent the first manned mission to orbit the planet, insist to this day that their landing attempt was sabotaged by their Dragels and the planet should bear their name. Relations between the two clans remain tense. Orbital distance 1.9 astronomical units, orbital period of 2.5 Earth years, radius 1,528 kilometers, day length 60.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature minus 37 Celsius, surface gravity 0.15 G. Strategic reserves. Heligos. Space investors are fond of saying you can't exhaust a gas giant, but the Salarians have certainly tried. Heligos is home to a thriving community of robo-miners and those who work in helium-3 collection and refinement. More than 16 of Heligos' more metallic moons have been settled. The giant bears the name of the Heligos Corporation, which combined the best efforts of several Salarian clans to manufacture the advanced shielding necessary to colonize the planet's moons. The planet's magnetosphere retains massive amounts of radioactive ions from Pranaj, the system's star. Because of this, the cities on the moons and subsurface protected from lethal radiation levels by shielded and thick layers of rock. Heligos was bought out centuries ago, but the name endures as a symbol of Salarian innovation and cooperation. Colony founded 560 BCE. Population 129,000. Capital Aifa. Orbital distance 3.6 astronomical units. Orbital period 6.8 Earth years. Radius 54,743 kilometers. Day length 16.8 Earth hours. Right, let's read about the planet I found here. Paeto. Paeto, a carbonaceous asteroid, became notable for element 0 deposits. The deposits which indicate it was an extrasolar capture were discovered by the Salarians shortly before they found the mass relay in the Pranaj system. Naturally, all element 0 was mined out long ago. The asteroid is named for the clan of Paeto II Ginonmal Enested Dut Solim Ammar, known to humans as Ammar Solim. This shy, retiring eccentric was an undergraduate when more important astrogeologists passed off the first ESO deposits to him. He ran the fateful tests that discovered its mass-affecting properties. For 3 centuries after his death, rival clans fought for credit for the discovery, but the truth won out after a lengthy academic war. Orbital distance 7.3 astronomical units, orbital period 19.8 Earth years, radius 1,681 km, day length 29.3 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature minus 154 Celsius, surface gravity 1.126 G. I don't know what that does, but let's try and make a scan. exactly does it do? Well, it did nothing. Specialist trainer. Time for you to go to bed. Isn't that a bit early, bro? I thought we'd do this in like 20 minutes, no?
Commander, come to check on your new recruit.
Just wanted to see how you were doing.
Still trying to get my bearings. When I was working on the Normandy's upgrades, I left at the end of the day. I didn't even have a toothbrush or a change of clothing until I made some emergency purchases on the Citadel.
Next time you need something, just ask. We're all in this together.
Oh, it's no trouble, Commander. I'm sure you have larger concerns.
We can put in a requisition order.
My toothbrush is a Cision Pro Mark IV. It uses tiny Mass Effect fields to break up plaque and massage the gums. It costs 6,000 credits.
Okay, yeah. You're on your own with that.
In any event, I appreciate you giving me the chance to stay. Was there anything else?
Some things are still to do before the end of the day.
How'd you end up in the military anyway?
My family didn't have money for university. When the Alliance saw my aptitude scores, they offered me a full scholarship. I served my required years after graduation and decided to stay. I really like the challenges of the lab. Although, I'm sure I'll grow to love frontline service as well.
I'm surprised you're worrying about a toothbrush. We've got bigger problems right now.
Oh, believe me. Seeing the Reapers on Earth was terrifying. But I won't help anybody by bursting into tears here in the CIC, will I? Being here on the Normandy helps. If anyone in the galaxy can stop the Reapers, it's you. And if flagging your messages and managing strategic intel helps you in any way, then it's worth it.
You worked in Alliance R&D?
Yes. You'd think quantum entanglement would make communication easy, but imagine incorporating multiple incoming sources and then networking them with extrapolations of time-lag data to construct a coherent situation GUI. It's an exciting challenge. For me, anyway.
Where are you from originally?
A colony in the Terminus systems, actually. Though I studied on Earth, at Oxford. My parents were from London. They loved Earth, but they wanted the freedom a colony life could offer. If they stayed in London, I imagine they'd be dead right now.
A lot of people back on Earth are still alive, and counting on us.
Quite true, Commander.
Carry on, Specialist.
Right, you need to go to some other to do some other stuff. I might be considering finishing the stream right now, and probably, well, I don't know about raiding, but I might play some XCOM Chimera Squad. But that requires me to relaunch the stream, because I needed to reset the stream settings. Right. Thank you for this for being here, bro. We'll continue that when we have more time to spare. Right. Thank you again for watching. I hope that you enjoyed as much as I did. I wish you all a good night, and until next time, everyone. Bye.